Okay, Make Numismatics Great Again wants a video about toned coins, and he says rainbow toned coins are extremely popular and selling for extraordinary premiums, but I've heard of and have seen people paying those high premiums for toners that don't quite merit those prices. It would be interesting to make a video and have a discussion on making a price guide for buying toned coins. Well, Make Numismatics Great Again, I ended up renting from the Garfield Heights Coin Club Library Current Pricing of Toned Coins by Andrew Kimmel. It's a hour long, great video, lots of information. And while I talk for a little bit, I've got some things for you guys to look at. But the only Andrew Kimmel is basically considered to be the leading force on toned coins, and he says the only reason to buy a toned coin is because you like it, not because you think it'll go up in value. It varies from person to person. However, there are a lot of trends out there that people gravitate towards, which are colors of green, red, bright blue. Typically, these colors are on the obverse. But it's always nice to have both on the obverse and the reverse. And that's usually seen on those bullseye like it was in a holder or an album, and it's toning in like that. And if you have toning that's a bullseye on both sides of the coin, the sky is the limit. And to talk to you about the pricing, he says, a lot of these toned coins, the prices were high a long time before the internet was showcasing these prices. Like, for example, Heritage or Stacks and Bowers or Legends, Christie's, doesn't matter what company or what auction house was selling these coins, that the prices were always high. But now, since the internet is now letting the general public know what these prices are, somebody will say, I have an 1879S and there's some toning on there, and I saw another coin on Heritage that sold for thousands of dollars. Mine must be worth thousands as well. And so they'll put a elevated sticker price and somebody will pay it. I mean, it's an inflated market. It is an inflated market. So he says, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. 75 to 80% of the toned coins out there are in need of a 50% price reduction. That it is well overinflated. And he says it's a great time to sell. It's a great time to sell toned coins. 70 to 80%, 75 to 80%, 50% price correction. It is just not worth what it's currently selling for. Then he goes from about, 76, 80, 81%, all the way up to 98% are in need of a 20% price correction. That's kind of your, this is just your average run-of-the-mill toners. I mean, there's nothing special here. There's nothing special. This should not be priced that high. But that top 1 or 2%, you are gonna have to pay, because what that is the cream of the crop. That is the top echelon. And I made a video about it, about the cream will rise to the top and it will stay there. Same thing with these toned coins. Anyways, a lot of times, people are afraid of toned coins because, it will all of a sudden just keep toning and get a darker color. And apparently, once a coin is at its farthest point of being toned, the farthest way along the process of being toned, it ends up being black. And Andrew Kimmel says that the best and most beautifully amazing coin he has ever seen was a ultra-proof like, not PL, not DMPL, but UPL, ultra-proof like Morgan dollar that was black. And he said it was unbelievable. One of the best coins he's ever seen in his life. The best coin. So, you never know. You never know. You got to be careful. You got to know what you're doing. You send coins in to NGC. They send them back and they say questionable toning. What he says about that is, he says, you got to send in everything. So let's say you had a bunch of Mercury dimes and they were in an album. Send that whole album. Don't touch the album. You got to call NGC, let them know you're doing that, just to make sure they don't send it back and say, we're not grading this because it has questionable toning. So, questionable toning he also agrees with. He says, it protects the consumer, it protects the market, and really, you got to protect your name. Whatever you sell or whatever you put your name on, you got to stand behind it. And so, I do understand that. And listen, I'm in my 30s. I've been working with coins for a while. Somebody might be in their 80s and have been working with coins triple the amount of time that I've been working with coins. But nobody has seen more coins than some of these third-party grading companies, PCGS, NGC. They've seen more coins than we can even imagine. And they grade based on experience, and they have way more experience than we can even imagine. So if they say it's questionable, it likely is. But that term questionable is actually changing because there are new sets, undiscovered sets that are coming out, and it's like, oh wow, that really is beautiful and different colors, and they got the word monster toning now. But anyways, I wanted to just mention a couple more things. One way that you can tell if a coin is not artificially toned. This is kind of a good example. Let's say this was a crescent tone and there was a coin that was sitting exactly on top of, just like that or something. And right where that other coin was sitting on top, that's where this rainbow effect stopped. But he says what will happen is you'll actually have some creep, that there will be a patina that creeps underneath those two surfaces. So it will not appear blast white. And here you go. You've got a blast white, and then you have this where there's that darker patina. And this would be considered original patina because it shows signs of that creep. Excellent areas to look for tone coins, he says, is 19th century type, early walking Liberty halves, seated, anything seated, either proof or business strike, barber, barber, proof or business strike, just a lot of good stuff out there. You want to look for the trifecta. Number one, condition. Okay, you want to get high grade. Number two, rarity, some of the key dates. Number three, eye appeal. And that's what he considers the trifecta. And he says there's a fourth thing that if you throw in there, it would be a pattern. And patterns, I'm not going to go into patterns, but it would be a JUD. It'd have a J and then a number after it. But he says if you've got eye appeal, condition, rarity, throw a pattern in there, you have something that is ultra rare. Modern coins are starting to show a lot of toning. The Ikes, the modern silver commemoratives, American Silver Eagles, and when I watched that video, it kind of made it seem like that might be an undiscovered area is American Silver Eagle toning, sitting in these albums. And carefully take it out, send it in. You get an MS69 that is toned beautifully, and prices are going to jump. Another modern area that we see a lot of toning is proof sets. And finally, which I did not know this, Andrew says that he takes his coins and he dips them in acetone. And the acetone will not disturb the toning on the coin, but it will not turn it blast white. But what it will do is will take any surface gunk and just kind of make sure that the area is stable, that it's not going to continue to further tone the coin or make it, all of a sudden some black spots. And you never know, but he dips them in acetone before submitting to preserve the natural process in that exact point in time. So this is a little bit longer of a video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Everything that I have here in front of me, if it has toning on it, it's considered to be the run-of-the-mill. Would this make that second tier, that 76 to 98%, doubt it. This would all, the reason I brought this out, some people actually think that little bit of toning there on the rim is a toner. And technically the word toning can be used, but that is not a tone coin. And this stuff here, this is just run of the mill, and the prices should be reduced by 50% because this is so common. This is such common stuff. 20% reduction in price on the 76% to 98, and then that top 2%, he says, will hold its value. Thanks for watching. This is John with Garfield Heights Coin Club. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think about toned coins. Bye.